What is going on, guys? We are back here for another edition of Sunday Night Pre-Lock Show, sponsored by the good folks of RotoGrinders. I am your host, Drizzy26, aka Andre Alfred. I'm joined here by TJ Zwarych. It's like our third show today, man. What's going on? How's everything? Long time no see.
Third show today, fifth show together of the weekend. We are ready for it. And yeah, we got a fun little night slate today. Day didn't go so well for me in NFL, but that's all right. Life is still good, and I'm ready to give some good content and help some people win some money. How are you doing?
I am doing well myself. Yep, it's life is always good. Same thing over here. Not that good on the main slate. Didn't play enough mixing. But I did do a pretty decent job of my bets. But hopefully, the night slate will work out better for everyone else. Let's get this going over here and just dive right into it. So we're gonna touch on both sites real quick, and then get to some questions. I know Locke is at what 8:20 today, so we got some time, but let's try to get through this a little bit. Um, well, actually, we just talk from a general's point of view because this is pretty much I think it's gonna be the same on kind of both sites. But what is your overall like 30-foot view of this whole slate today? This nice slate we have between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans.
So I kind of want to play my lineups in one of two ways. I either want to try and be jamming in Patrick Mahomes and Derrick Henry if I think this game is going to be staying close, or if I think Tennessee, or if I just think KC is not going to be able to stop Derrick Henry at all, and they're going to get up to a lead with the run. And so I still kind of think, regardless, that I like Patrick Mahomes best at the captain position, but I'm either thinking I want to jam in Mahomes and Henry and whatever cheapies correlate well with that lineup, or I'm building a Chiefs onslaught. Now we got a 13.5 point spread. For me to get different while kind of not getting too crazy, staying within that will be no Derrick Henry or all of the Derrick Henry kind of thing. Like I want to build very game script dependent of Henry is the guy and he carries them, or Henry can't get it going and the Chiefs get up by a lot of points. And so for me, I like getting to some of these cheapies like Robert Woods as well as Dontrell Hilliard in the lineups that I'm going to go out of my way to fade Henry. And then with Henry, we're obviously going to have to go out of our way to find some guys that might work in this lineup to be able to fit some Mahomes, some Henry, some Kelsey or Willis type of things together.
Yeah, and I agree with you in a way. I pretty much have the same sentiment. Like I think this is honestly a spot where the Chiefs should just dominate. I'm more inclined like on DraftKings to go with like a full onslaught. I would go with like a 4-1, maybe a 4-2 if I feeling generous. But I'm definitely stacking up as many Chiefs as I possibly can and running back with one guy, and that's most likely going to be a Derrick Henry because he's the only one I think that can do anything on this slate here in this game, especially since Tennessee has been going back and forth with trying to get Tannehill to play, and Tannehill being out, I think, is going to affect the passing game a lot. So I think Wilkins, I believe his name is Malik Willis is more of a running quarterback. I think he's good to put in your lineups too as well, but how much upside does he really have is what you have to really think about here on this slate against a defense that I think is going to start coming into shape and start to play better. And also, this is the Chiefs' first game back, I believe, off of a bye, right? Or did they play last week? Let me double check that real quick. They played last. I think this is their first game back. They had a bye last weekend, and most times when Andy Reid comes back and buys, they typically put on a show and win by a lot because Andy Reid is really good at prepping for teams, especially during a bye week. So I definitely like the Chiefs here a lot to just blow the team out for sure. So, but that doesn't mean that, like I said, these guys can't get there. It's just going to be hard. The only person I really trust, like you said, is Derrick Henry. What are some other pieces you're looking at as far as you said you want? I say you said you want the captain position. You say you like Patrick Mahomes today to go with the passing attack today as your captain. Um, and that's on both sides, or that's strictly more so like on like FanDuel.
So, yes, it is on both sites. And Big Hurts in chat asking favorite contrarian MVP for FanDuel GPP, favorite single entry, way to not get duplicated. And I want to answer this at the same time because it's going to be the same for both sites. For the contrarian MVP, for like the little bit contrarian, it's going to be this like the kind of moderately contrarian. It's going to be Malik Willis. He's going to be sub 10% on both sites. Not super duper contrarian. You're still going to have to find different ways to not get duped in a Millie Maker type scenario. But I think he's like my favorite somewhat contrarian guy. If I'm going to get very contrarian on FanDuel, I'm looking at somebody like Valdez-Scantling or the Chiefs defense. And on DraftKings, it would be the Chiefs defense in that captain position. That would be my favorite super contrarian style lineup. But for me personally, my favorite way to not be overly duplicated, my favorite way to get different in the field, I was very high on Derrick Henry earlier today, and I'm still high on Derrick Henry in the flex. But to me, the most over-owned play we're seeing on the slate,
to me, is Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, and like especially in the captain position. Mm-hmm. Like on both sides, Derrick Henry in the captain, Derrick Henry in the MVP, especially on FanDuel with Derrick Henry in the MVP. To me, that's where he's going especially overowned. But like, I really liked him early in the day, but everybody likes him a bit too much that it makes me want to not play him.
Yeah, I agree. Like I personally would just fade Derrick Henry in the captain spot. I don't even think he's going to be the high score captain to high scoring player on the slate today, personally, unless he just breaks the slate.
Like, and even if he does, like my thought process is, okay, Derrick Henry gets 3 touchdowns in the first half. Mm-hmm. You basically either have to, if you're playing Derrick Henry in the captain, I feel like you kind of have to play the Titans defense somewhere in your team as well. Because even if Henry scores 3 touchdowns with 150 yards, that probably means that Tennessee was up early and Mahomes is going to be throwing a ton. So either you think he's not going to show up and the Titans D is going to have a very good game, or Mahomes is probably going to do what Mahomes usually does. If he's down 2 touchdowns early, he's going to throw 4 touchdowns in the second half, and he's probably going to end up being the optimal captain anyways, or one of those Chiefs pass catchers if one of them is it's a Kelsey scoring 4 touchdown game again, something like that.
Yeah, I think personally Travis Kelce is the best guy for the captain spot. Derrick Henry, though, I have some stats here for him. He's played the Kansas City Chiefs 3 times in his career. First game was 9 attempts, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns. Second game, 23 attempts, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then the third game, 29 attempts and 86 yards. So he only had and no touchdowns. So he only had one pretty much monster blow-up game, but that he had against them. But the 2 touchdowns here with 58 yards in his first game in 2016, that's so far back, doesn't even really matter at that point. But 2019, 2021, those are like the last couple of years, and the defense hasn't really changed much as far as besides some personnel, but not a lot. So I personally think that Henry's a good player to play in your lineup in general, but not in the captain spot. I personally I would be on the guy like Travis Kelce here. He's coming in at 18% here. I think he's a good choice for a captain here. We already know he's Patrick Mahomes' number 1 target. I don't mind him, and I also don't mind Patrick Mahomes' shiny new toy, Kadarius Toney. We all forget about this guy. If he was on the Giants, he was a number 1 receiver. I think they're going to integrate him a lot here and try to get him going. I think he can easily walk into being the number 1 receiver here on this team, and taking over the number 1 spot from Juju. So I like Kadarius Toney a lot today. I think he's an interesting play at captain and a large field GPP. What do you think?
So he scares me a little bit for captain. I like him a lot in the utility, but especially on FanDuel. He's a play that I just really, really like on FanDuel because we know how different the pricing is from FanDuel to DK, where we get these guys priced at like $200. Well, on DK, Kadarius Toney is $6,800, and on FanDuel, Kadarius Toney is $7K. So he's $200 more on FanDuel than he is on DK. I love him over there. He is my favorite contrarian utility option. I think he's actually makes for a great contrarian MVP option on FanDuel.
Mhm.
And I'd rather try that as opposed to on DraftKings, I think. But I don't hate it either. I don't hate it either. It's a price that the price difference is so egregious that I would rather just play him on FanDuel, where he's still not picking up very much ownership. Like, he's not picking up ownership on both sites. So I would rather play him on FanDuel, where I can take advantage of that price difference, and it's still not a big deal for ownership. But if I was playing 150 lineups, we're getting such low ownership on Kadarius Toney that I would definitely be over the field on him on DraftKings, and then significantly over the field on him on FanDuel. My thing with like Travis Kelce versus Patrick Mahomes at the captain position, we like the amount of fantasy points Mahomes is projected for more than Kelce is same as the amount of percentage ownership difference.
Mhm.
Like, if we were looking at Mahomes 40% and Kelce 10%, now I know the QBs usually come a little bit higher owned than projected ownership, especially in large large dollar stuff. But with Kelce being projected for 19% and Mahomes 23, and Kelce for 18 fantasy points and Mahomes 24, I just can't really justify going with the Kelce at the captain. I would rather just play Mahomes at the captain, Kelce in the flex, and then try and find some cheapies to fill out our lineups throughout then. Do we want to quickly throw up the lineup optimizer, build a quick first maybe 4 positions on DraftKings, and then we'll swap to FanDuel?
Yeah, let's do that real quick and get the likes up there to help us, give us some good, help the algorithm out. So hit the like button. Thank you, shout out to Jay Willie for reminding us to hit the like button, or reminding me to say hit the like button. So let's get those likes up there. And if you get those likes up to what we got 93 people watching right now. Let's get it up to about let's get 25 likes, and we'll give you guys a low own play that's gonna be good today. I
And if
don't.
we hit 50, we gotta I wanna make the standard that we get half. You know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
should be so easy for half the people to go, here's my hand, I'm gonna put it on the mouse, I'm gonna move my mouse over like 3 inches here, and I'm gonna click on the like button. If you're on your phone here's my nice Iron Man background. If you're on your phone, you might have to actually click the exit chat button, so you exit out of the chat so that you can hit the like button. It's a little harder over there. If we get up over half, we get 50 likes, I think we could probably justify giving away another free week of RG Premium. So let's get that up to 50 likes so we can give something away there. And let's build this lineup here. I think for crunch time, we usually build the kind of cash / optimal style lineup. What do you say we kind of start with Mahomes in the MVP spot?
Yeah, I'm completely fine with that because I'm actually got. If you don't have premium now, go get premium because we have definitely a tool here that's useful called the NFL DFS Showdown Sim tool for this game, and it pretty much tells you what is going to be optimal, how guys are going to be over on and compared to the field and compared to what should be optimal. And Patrick Mahomes is by far the best optimal quarterback, as you were mentioning before. Excuse me, and I like just to find a way to get different. So I don't mind that call at all today. So Patrick Mahomes at the captain spot. I love that call. What do you want to go with next? So we got. I guess we might as well just put Derek. Do you want to put Derrick Henry just in there because we know that we're going to play him?
Here's the thing. I say no because knowing who you and I are, like, we're going to try and build our optimal style tournament lineup because we're tournament players. We're not cash game players. And we'd be fooling ourselves if we tried to do anything differently. To me, I'm seeing a disparity based on the field compared to what it should be with Mahomes at the captain. He's going under-owned there. He's going over-owned in the flex and under-owned in the captain. To me, Derrick Henry's going a bit over-owned in both. And Travis Kelce is going over-owned in the captain. But I think he's going under-owned in the flex. The flex position. So I think we throw Travis Kelce in here next. And then the next spot we look for is going to be somewhere to save salary. And if we can fit Derrick Henry in the lineup, maybe we go for it later. But I think we start building with a no Derrick Henry lineup and see if we like it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't mind that call at all. I think that could work too. So yeah, so let's put Travis Kelce in there as his run back. As his receiver to target with today. So we got that in there for it. And typically, personally, I think that this game is really going to be. It might score one or a couple touchdowns, but I think the defense is in play here. So personally, I would put the Chiefs defense in there. How do you feel about that? I think that's a great call, personally.
I'm good with the Chiefs defense, and then I think if we're doing that, the next spot we should put in to save salary and because it correlates well is Isaiah Pacheco.
Yes,
2.4K. He's a necessary salary saver on DK, and he's not going nearly high enough owned. To me, he's the easy way to make lineups you like work, and nobody's really doing it. So I think we can leave our lineup right here and make this our tournament core. Because what this allows you to do with 13-4 remaining, Derrick Henry is 10-8. You can still play Derrick Henry if you want to take a shot on punting with somebody super cheap. And if you want to do that, then I think that's reasonable. You can throw somebody like Cody Hollister or Austin Hooper, Sky Moore, Justin Watson, somebody like that to fill out your lineup with Derrick Henry, if that's how you want to play it. If you want to go with the Derrick Henry fade, I think this sets you up basically to go with either Malik Willis or Robert Woods. Anybody in. Sorry?
The Tennessee kicker, I will play him too as well because I don't think Tennessee's going to put up that many points.
So there you go. You can go with Bullock, and that leaves you enough to play your choice of Willis or what's his name? Robert Woods. And I think that works out perfectly. Or you can go with the Derrick Henry route. So to me, that's the core. It's Mahomes, Kelsey, Chiefs, and Pacheco. And then you get your choice of however you want to play it after that. Shall we switch it over to FanDuel?
Yeah, let's switch it over to FanDuel real quick and give a look over there.
While we're doing that,
where are we at? What are we at for likes right now? Because I can't see it. Because if I go into it, it's gonna.
I got you.
Regurgitate the.
We're at 34 likes, so not enough. We got 16 more before we get the free week of RG Premium in there.
Okay, perfect. I like that. Let's keep getting those likes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep getting those likes. But so now we're over on FanDuel, where touchdowns matter more. So a guy like you were talking about before, Patrick Mahomes, is probably perfect for the MVP spot here. Is that what we would want to start with here today, or would you want to go with something different, knowing that that's probably what everyone's going to be on typically?
I'm still going with the Mahomes route. To me, I don't think he's going over-owned in that MVP spot. The only time I really try and get too different in that captain/MVP position is when I think they're going really over-owned there. And I think Mahomes should be in the 30 to 40% owned position, and he's just not getting there. We're projecting him right now for sub 30%. And so for me, Mahomes is my guy that I want to go with there. Kelsey's not exactly going as over-owned in the MVP position as he is at captain, in my opinion. But Henry heavily.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's going about appropriately owned in the flex position, but he's going about twice as owned as he should be in the MVP position to me. So Mahomes is still my favorite. If I'm trying to get contrarian with it in a large field, like I just want to hand build a lineup in that. In a milli maker, and I'm not running 150. The contrarian ways I like on FanDuel, it's Marquez Valdez-Scantling, it's the Chiefs defense, or it's even somebody like Mecole Hardman or Kadarius Toney to get super crazy.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you there. I don't mind any of those calls at all, especially if they can have an upside game here in this spot, especially at the captain spot. So let's start this off with putting your guy Patrick Mahomes in the MVP spot here. And then I think obviously we should pair with a pass catcher, but I feel like let's get a little different, since it is FanDuel, touchdowns matter. We all know that everyone is going to go with the guy like Travis Kelce. So where else would we like to go? Like personally, I would say we go like Juju or Tony here, and the captains. And the flex. What do you think about that?
I think I really like the idea of going with Tony just because he's so cheap here. To me, Tony is on FanDuel what Pacheco is on DraftKings. Now, it's very likely that he could do nothing. Like he could do nothing. It's his first game in this offense. Maybe he's not ready, but they're coming off of a bye week. They probably knew going into the trade deadline they were trying to acquire another pass catcher. So I'm assuming Andy Reid has him ready to go, even if he's not playing full snaps, even if he only plays 30 to 40% of snaps. I could see those being very, very valuable ones. So I like Tony here from a tournament standpoint. And if you're not going with him, we'll leave him in our lineup optimizer just because that's what we want to do. But if you're not going with here, we did have a QQ in the YouTube chat from our friend Jay Willie, who's been killing it, hanging out with us all day. Where's the random tight end? They always break these showdown slates. I think if you're not going with Kadarius Toney, you're going with either Austin Hooper or maybe Chig Okongwu. He's somebody who had 2 targets last week with Malik Willis starting, or Noah Gray. Noah Gray, get into some tight end sets, the Chiefs go play action. You could absolutely see him catch a touchdown pass, something like that. So those would be my favorite super cheap ways to save salary if you don't have the confidence to go with Kadarius Toney here. Outside of that, in the flex position, I still think the next way we want to go here is probably Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Travis Kelce to me is an obvious choice because we can still get different with the 150. Excuse me, sorry, in the last 2 spots and get low owned guys, especially if we're not including Derrick Henry in this lineup. Like, say for instance, Derrick Henry, God forbid, gets hurt, has a bad game, or can't go the rest of the game. Would you play Hillard? That's the next thing. Like, I don't mind that playing Hillard in a spot instead of Derrick Henry because you never know what can happen here. That's big field tournament GPP stuff. Like to me, if I'm 150 and I'm playing like every type of scenario possible, I would plot the whole day thinking, okay, what if this happens? I have this covered. Or what if that happens? I have this covered. So, like, if a quarterback gets hurt, you have the backup in one of your lineups just in case. You know you might lose that money on that specific lineup, but just in case that happens, you never know. But I believe Dr. Hillard I think he's a good play that you can get to in tournaments. He even still though gets some rushing attempts too. Week 8 he got only 8, granted, and he has a target share of 12, which is pretty much about the same of Derrick Henry for what I'm looking at, which is not that bad. Snap count is about 25%, so they might want to work him in a little bit more. Maybe let's see if they can use him. He's one of their better skill players in my opinion. So they might want to just try to get him some touches and get him some work and get some looks. So especially if this game gets a blowout too, because if it's a blowout, they might just take Derrick Henry out, rest him a little bit, play Hillard in the second half a lot more, and grind it out that way. So I think Hillard, if you're running a blowout scenario, is a perfect play for this type of lineup. And I think it really should build like based on your game script too, and how you feel the game is going to go. So like, I personally think it's going to be a blowout and an onslaught. So I would play like a kicker. I would play maybe the defense. I would play like maybe the backup running back. That's just how I would do it, because just in case they can get close to the same thing as Derrick Henry, and especially if he's not effective in the second game. What about you?
So here's the beauty about this being our core. We have 2 different builds here that are just beautiful. To me, the next priority on FanDuel, if you're using this Kadarius Toney here, or if you're not comfortable with using Kadarius Toney, the next best salary saver on FanDuel is Robert Woods, 8,500. To me, he is a priority here. He's probably the player outside of Mahomes I'd be looking to get most over the field on today. And so Robert Wood, if you plug in Robert Woods, you can have you can go with Malik Hooker there, or Malik Hooker, that's a DB, Malik Willis. Even if you take out Woods here and you have the price to go Willis as well as you get Woods or Hilliard, that backup QB that we were talking about, there's the options of a kicker, or it still leaves us enough salary to go with Derrick Henry and then one of these really cheap options like one of those tight ends that we were talking about earlier, Austin Hooper, Okongwu, Noah Gray, something like that. If you're going with Mahomes at the MVP and you have Derrick Henry in there, maybe you want to go with Noah Gray to complete your lineup to kind of correlate well with there. There's lots of different ways that you can do it. What do you say we thank our phenomenal sponsors, then we hit some QQs?
Yeah, definitely. Let's thank FanDuel. First of all, let's thank FanDuel for sponsoring the show.
It is not FanDuel. It is
It's
Stat
not-
Hero. In case you haven't heard of Stat Hero, it's a unique.
I didn't get the take, so you can take over that.
Good.
Get the take.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's right here in our little private chat beside. In case you haven't heard of Stat Hero, it's a unique fantasy sports platform that allows users to compete only against the house and not the other players in that contest. You can participate in head-to-head style contests where Stat Hero provides a lineup that you have to beat with your own, as well as pick'em style contests. You should also check out the Big Dime League, a season-long leaderboard NFL contest with up to $50K in prizes. You can also enter all season long. And Stat Hero is trying to get people to head over there. Like, it's not available to me in Canada yet, but they're trying to get people to head over there. And there are some like head-to-heads you can choose against them that are so clear and obvious over which side is better. There's some really easy ways to make some really easy money. So make sure you head over there. And if you don't know which ones to pick, you don't know which ones are good, we got you covered at scoredsandodds.com, your number one place for all things sports betting. Get ready for the NFL season. Arm yourself with the best tools and analysis like Dre's picks over there. Check out the new Parlay IQ, free for everyone currently. Use it to build optimal same-game parlays on thousands of games worth of simulated data. Dre, what are some of your favorite bets tonight?
Give me a second while I look. Obviously, I like the Chiefs money line. I like Derrick Henry just to go under rushing yards. That's just a hot take just because I know they're going to feed him, but the Chiefs defense in front seven is underrated in my opinion. Just from
if you're playing heavy, sorry to cut you off, but I feel like this is something I want to get out while there's still time for people to adjust. Yeah. If you're playing heavy DFS tonight, you're playing a lot. I don't mind I don't hate the strategy of running 150 lineups, fading Derrick Henry in all 150 lineups, and then betting a nice, like if you're the type of person who has the capital to do this, and then bet a nice chunk of money on that Derrick Henry over. If you have 150 lineups with no Derrick Henry and he busts, you're going to go off. You're going to have a big day. But if you hedge with that bet and Derrick Henry has a big day, well, whatever, you got close to breaking even. You get to move on to the next slate.
That's actually a smart idea. That's a very, very, very smart idea. If I did have to take some bets today, though, I definitely would take I would just be taking the under just because I think that they're going to try to stack the box. They know Willis is not really much of a thrower, much more passes a lot. So I like that. I also do like Travis Kelce for at least an anytime touchdown, and I like him to actually score possibly maybe even 2 touchdowns today as well. Both teams are also bad against as far as DB wise. But I do think that the Chiefs are a little bit better just because, like I said, off of a bye week, I think they prep better. So I do like Kadarius Toney also for anytime touchdown in this Chiefs debut here as well. So you can go take those to get those in on FanDuel or whatever books you have that's legal in your state. I like some of those tonight, though, for sure. So let's get to some questions, though.
Get your QQs in the YouTube chat, or if you're on Discord, you can get them in the NFL Discord channel. But we don't have too many QQs in there yet. I want to give a quick recap. We do actually have the questions coming in now. I want to give a quick recap, though. We're 9 likes away, 9 people hitting the like button away from giving a free week of RG Premium. So get that like button up, get it up to 50. We got a free week we can give away. Our favorite salary savers on DraftKings are
real quick. So if we get to 50 likes, the first people whoever put the number, let's put the number 3. Let's put the number 3 in the chat.
Don't even worry about it yet because we're not at the likes and people are just going to start spamming the chat with it.
Okay.
We gotta get the likes first. Mahomes is our favorite MVP /captain on both sites. We both like, as a way to get different, kind of know Derrick Henry in a lineup, play some Dontrell Hilliard, play some kickers, play some Chiefs defense as a way to differentiate today. Kadarius Toney, especially on FanDuel, is our favorite way to save salary in tournaments. Robert Woods would be the best way of doing that in a bit chalkier, closer to optimal format. And then on DraftKings, it's Isaiah Pacheco as our favorite, very cheap guy to save some salary. Dre, on DK, what are your thoughts on playing Henry in the captain with Mahomes in the flex, but the Titans defense also in the flex? That leaves $2,000 on the table.
I don't mind it. Not something I would pretty much try to do myself personally, but I rather personally play like Kelsey, but I know Mahomes is going under owned, so I probably would gear towards Mahomes instead of him in there.
Based on Mahomes being over-owned in the flex, under-owned in the captain, and Henry being over-owned in the captain, it's not my favorite type of build. However, by leaving that salary on the table and putting the Titans defenses in there, it is a way to get different. And so if you're doing that, that is the exact way that I'd want to do it.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions? I'm looking here in the Discord. I do not see any questions here in the Discord. We got 3 minutes to lock. How many likes are we at right now?
43, 7 more likes. We may not get it. People just don't want the free stuff. People may not know.
74 people watching. Can't get, 7 more likes? Come on.
6 now. The crazy thing, I mean, maybe people don't know that. Maybe they're sitting there saying, hey, I already subscribed to RG. I'm already a premium user. What's a free week going to do for me? Well, guess what? It takes it off your account. It docks the price 1 week. And so it does quite a bit. It makes that amount it pulls from your account even cheaper. Makes it even a better deal. Thoughts on Okongwu I think that's a fine contrarian salary saver today.
I think in 150 lineups, yes, it's a good play for sure. Not something I personally would be getting to, but I don't mind it today. But he probably is Willis' number one target, so I don't mind it. What is
outside of Robert Woods, I think.
Yeah, let me look at I'm gonna look at right now his target share and how much routes.
He had 2 targets last week. I didn't get to see the routes though. If you want to peek into that one, because he's sharing with Austin Hooper as well. But Robert Woods would be, I think, kind of like my number one guy, especially on FanDuel where he's so nice and cheap. He had, I guess, only 2 targets last week too, but it's still stepping into this lead role with their rookie hurt.
Yeah, for what I'm seeing here, I'm looking at it right now. He had 40% of the target, played 40% snaps, had 5 routes, which was tied for most with Austin Hooper in his last week. So that's actually kind of encouraging. And end zone share is pretty much split down the middle for all of them. He had the most air yards on the team as well, and had a higher target share than Hooper last week. So as long as Wills is there, he might be a good play, honestly.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think that is absolutely reasonable. I think he's a nice way to save salary. 1 minute to lock. Hit your like button on the way out. It's looking like we're going to fall 3 short away from giving away our free week of RG Premium unless we can get 3 more likes here in the last 1 minute before lock to give us a reason to stay on a minute longer. But if not, good luck, everyone. We hope to see you at the top of your contest. Any hot takes, Trey?
Yeah, it's 8:20, so it's lock. Hope everyone got their lineups in. I think it's just a Chiefs onslaught today. Pretty much plain and simple. I think a 5-1 stack is going to win on DK. And what is it, a 4-1, I believe, on FanDuel? If I'm correct. So, yeah, I think that's what's going to take it down today. And, yeah, good luck, everyone. I hope everyone wins something, especially from the stuff that we were talking about today. What about yourself, TJ, before we get out of here?
No hot takes really, other than my favorite way to have built a lineup was going with the Derrick Henry fade, although that wasn't earlier today, just based on how heavily the public went on Derrick Henry today. And other than that, I'm going to be back tomorrow on NBA Crunch Time with Meansy and Roth, so make sure you're tuning in because we got lots and lots of content tomorrow with NFL Pre-Walk, NBA Crunch Time, NBA Grinders Live, a Monday premium lineup HQ show. Brett Blender in the morning, Dean and Keith on the morning grind in the AM. Like, we just got content all day long.
Yeah, and then I'll also have my scores and odds parlay IQ picks out. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to the RG page and pay attention to Twitter for that. I'll be retweeting that tomorrow for tomorrow's Monday Night Football game. We're gonna get a W here eventually. We're like for like I don't even know how many right now. We've been close every single week, missing by one leg, but we're gonna get back to it next week and get this over with. And
drop a 3 in the chat. Drop a 3 in the chat. If you are still here, drop a 3 in the chat for your free week of RG Premium. We will pick our winners in there. We are down to 49 people watching as we're out after lock. But guess what? We got 50 likes. So if you're still here, you can win a free week of RG Premium.
I'll let you give away the free week. How do you want to do this? How do you want to do this?
Look, I mean, do we want to do it randomly or do we want to do it based on a
producer Steve? You pick. Let's not hold no bias. Let's not leave these out of our hands.
Completely out of our hands. Producer Steve is going to choose a comment who dropped a 3. Only say it once. Yeah, if you drop a 3 more than once, you're disqualified. But producer Steve is going to fire up David Dombrowski. Congrats, David Dombrowski. Randomly chosen by Steve. You are the winner of 1 week of RG Premium. You can DM
either me or
I believe somebody said last time for some reason they were struggling to DM Dre and I, but you can always DM Devin on Twitter, or you can DM Steve if his DMs are open, and you can, as long as you let us know your RG username, we can get that to Devin or Steve, and they can get it all set up for you.
Yeah, those right here those are our Twitter names right there. You can find us on Twitter and inbox one of us. We'll get that over to Devin ASAP and get you your free week of RG Premium. Congratulations, Dave, and hope you use that to your advantage and win a lot of money with that free week, so that way you can pay for. That way you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the year. So
all right. Love it. I love when we do it. It helps us when we get the likes up, and we get to give some free stuff away for the people.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I appreciate that. And good luck to everyone tonight. We're going to get ready to get out of here. The game has started. Hope everyone wins 6 figures and come in first place, because I'm not playing tonight. So I can take first place tonight. And good luck and have a good one.